Hi, my name is Shelby, and I'm a junior in the Nutrition and Dietetics program at UND. I love spending time in the kitchen and experimenting with new recipes. I love food, and I love finding ways to make it taste good and still be healthy. Today, I'll be making a spin on traditional tacos. So one of my roommates had made sweet potato tacos and had me sample them, and I was surprised that combining these two things tasted pretty good and it was still healthy. The recipe has 4 servings. It is cost efficient and it's pretty easy to make. The recipe is supposed to be made in the crock pot, but I'm going to be making it in the oven today. So what you're going to need is, I have ground turkey, but you can use ground beef. This is just a little bit healthier. We're going to do an onion, which is going to get cooked up, and then a can of diced tomatoes to cook up also. And then 4 sweet potatoes are going to be needed also. So if you're making it in the crock pot, you're going to want to cook it on high for 3 to 4 hours or on low for 5 to 6 in a 5-quart greased crock pot. But I will be doing the oven today at 425 for 45 minutes, so I will set the oven now. And to begin, you're going to want to wash your hands thoroughly. And then we're going to scrub each of the sweet potatoes before you cook them up. So sweet potatoes are starchy, nutrient-rich root vegetables belonging to morning glory family. And they are low on the glycemic index, so that means that they will not cause a blood sugar spike. And each sweet potato contains about 115 calories and about 28 grams of carbs. Take them over here, and I put foil in this pan, and that'll be easier to clean up once they're in the oven, but I'm also going to poke these all over with a fork. They're kind of hard right now. Alright, so those should be good to go, and I'm going to put them in the oven. And then the next thing that you're going to want to do after this is to start cutting up your onion. Potatoes in the oven cooking, and they've been in there for about a half hour. So I'm going to start on the next step, which will be prepping the onion to get that browned up, and then after that we're going to brown up the meat. So you're going to want to clean up the onion first, and then I am just using half right now, and then we'll dice it up. And then we're going to grab out a skillet and it's right under there. These are strong onions. And get those thrown in there, break them up a little bit. Take this over to the stove and throw in a bit of olive oil. About a tablespoon or so should be enough. And then I'll let that cook on high for a few minutes to caramelize them a little bit before I throw in the meat. So then it's about time to add the meat in, and we have ground turkey here, which is healthier than throwing in ground beef. So take that out, get that in, and then You want to wash your hands thoroughly to get all that off, because either ground beef or ground turkey can have E. coli or salmonella on it. So thoroughly make sure you wash your hands after handling it. Just want to break this up a little bit so it can start browning. And with turkey, you're going to want to cook it a little bit more than ground beef, just to make sure that it gets to 165 degrees, just to be safe. But is getting cooked up and there's no more pink in it, so that means it's getting about to that point where it'll be good to eat. And it's also better to use the ground turkey because it will be lower in fat. So next I'm gonna throw in some taco seasoning, and this one is a Mrs. Dash taco seasoning that is salt free. This is a better option because normal taco seasoning has a lot of sodium in it. So this would be a lot healthier. So throw in about half to a full package depending on your preference. Get that mixed up. And then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to drain our black beans, which will also go in with the meat. And then we're going to throw tomatoes in there too. But I'm going to get them out of the can first and rinse in a little container like this. And throw them in. Get those stirred around with the rest of it. And then next will be the tomatoes. So I'm not going to drain them. I'm going to leave that liquid in there and I'll just throw in this can of petite diced tomatoes, which are also no sodium. So this mixed together. And then we're going to want to bring this mixture to a simmer before we're going to add it to our sweet potatoes. So it's getting close to done, and we're going to take the potatoes out of the oven soon. For nutrient analysis of the sweet potatoes, they are going to have 115 calories. They are going to be about 28 grams of carbs and 3 to 4 grams of fiber. And it's in the insoluble form, which is associated with health benefits such as decreased risk of diabetes and improved gut health. Sweet potatoes contain less than a gram of fat and about 2 grams of protein, which is relatively low, and they also have antioxidant properties. In addition, they contain beta-carotene, vitamin C, and potassium. And when this recipe is fully prepared, it should contain about 300 calories, 40 grams of carbs, 8 grams of protein, and 6 grams of fat per serving when made according to this recipe. And the average serving size for a sweet potato is going to be about 4.5 ounces. And the portioning for the ground beef should be about a scoop or 2. So I'm gonna take the sweet potatoes out of the oven now. They've been in there for quite a while. And should be able to just cut down the center of them. And then that is where we'll insert the fillings that we've been cooking. So this is a fairly cost-efficient recipe, especially for college students. It is about $3.75 for 4 sweet potatoes, $4.21 for a pound of ground beef, 79 cents for a can of diced tomatoes, 62 cents for an onion, 55 cents for taco seasoning, 20 cents for garlic, 51 cents for canned black beans, and 57 cents for shredded cheddar cheese to throw on top. So the overall cost is going to be $11.20 for the 4 serving sizes, which can be divided up into leftovers and make about $2.80 per meal. So when you're shopping, a tip would be to look for low sodium canned goods because they have those out there, and also the taco seasoning, like I said, look for the low sodium options because that will help cut back on it. Also, I mean, you could be doing this with ground beef, but the ground turkey is obviously a little bit healthier. And you could also use like chicken if you have that in your fridge too and cook it up. Whatever there is. So you're just going to want to scoop in a good scoop or two, fill these up. And I already put cheese in here to melt a little bit beforehand. You can probably throw some extra cheese or additional toppings, like if you want tomatoes, avocados, any of that kind of stuff that you would normally put on tacos. But otherwise they should be done. So these are sweet potato tacos.